Welcome back to Money Monday. Terry and I get back to work at Parx this week. Terry's happy today. You can see on his face, his 49ers 1-1. They beat a lowly team, so he's happy about that.
Yeah, I am.
See, it's easy to read Terry for sure. So we're back to Parx today. Tomorrow, Wednesday. Well, Churchill's not running, so Wednesday will be Horseshoe Indianapolis and their 11 races. Thursday 12 races. Well,
yeah,
one more. All right, well, we got a 12 race card on Wednesday. Then Thursday we have Belmont at the Big A. And then on Friday, Thomas and I are off. He's traveling or something along those lines. But Saturday, we're going to have a wagering guide over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. It is the Coolmore Mile. I think that race is $1 million, Terry. It's a lot of money for sure.
It is.
And then today, free picks at Finger Lakes. Track is fast over there. The picks are free. You can get a link for that in the description down below here on YouTube if you haven't done so already. Kindly hit the subscribe button many times throughout the course of the day. Interact with us. Comments in the comment section. Thumbs up or like. Copy and paste our content. Share it with your friends. Follow us on all of our social sites. Momentarily, they will be streaming down below. There they go. Please follow us there. We'd greatly appreciate that. And of course, when the show is over, you can head on over to horseracingtoday.net. We will post all of our comments, a replay of the show right here. You'll see it right in the center there. And then kindly hit that HRT gear. Terry and I do a lot of work along with Sean and our good friend Thomas. Pick some winners. I know on Friday, Terry, I don't know if you followed the picks on Friday for Saturday over at Newmarket, but minus the 34-horse race where that's just a flip of a coin. In the other races, I think we had the exacta in 4 out of 5.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and a trifecta in at least 1 out of 2. So that worked out pretty good. So kindly get on that HRT gear. Come on over here. Get yourself a number 6 hat, a number 3 hat. Personally, this is my favorite combination. The black HRT with the number 6 hat, with the number 6 on the back. You'll look fantastic at the track. And then finally, Terry, one last thing. Good morning, Don Johnson. If you're not following me at HRT Rich over on Twitter and you play NFL games, well, quite frankly, you're missing out. So far on the season, we've put out 15 takes, won 10 of them, lost 5 of them. Yesterday, we were 3-1 with the Philadelphia Eagles being the lone miss. Terry, did you take a look at those?
Yeah, I look at them. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you're the only one. All right. Well, hopefully not.
I think other people do. So
yeah, I think we had like 400, 300 views yesterday. I don't know how many people played them, but nonetheless. All right, so let's get about our business today. Race number 1 in Bensalem, Pennsylvania for a track otherwise known as Parx. Terry, what do they got cooking in the opener?
Well, we're going to start out with a 6.5 furlongs, claiming race, $7,500 claiming price, purse $21,000 for 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
Yes, and to get that the elusive third W in the first race of this new Money Monday, Tactical Speed does good, but a bunch of them, 34%, do manage to win the race going wire to wire. Very strong rail bonus for Chasing Stardom. 2 and out, the rest of the track, the closer you are to that post position of the rail, the better off you are. So inside speed is probably the best way to win the opener today. We do 1,000 simulations. We want to know who has the best chance to get on the lead. We also want to know, based upon our early pace projections, which horses are going to get races today that mirror their best performances. A C-zone score of 50% or more is what we're looking for, meaning in 50% of our scenarios, today's race matched their best races. Q30, anything above 30 with a good chance to get on the lead. Those are horses that you can bet indiscriminately, according to James Quinn in his book. Now they return a positive ROI, so good chance to perhaps go wire to wire. Along with that, we're looking at horses that have an opportunity to hit par or better for this race, according to Brisnet. The average speed figure is 81. So if we look at that 81, we go back over here, 8% of the time, Chasing Stardom has a chance to run a speed figure equal to or greater than 81. Then finally, simulation odds. We want our sim odds to be lower than the post-time odds, meaning we've bought some value. Terry, all right, all that conversation, explanation. Tell us who's going to be on the lead.
Well, all of the horses but the 5 and 8 show some kind of speed, but that one has the most, so that one gets a good break. It should get to that quarter pole first. And the 4 has an overlay from about 7.5 to 9-5. The 7 has an overlay from 4-1 to 15-1. 4, 7, 9, 10, 11, and 1 all have par plus numbers, and all of them have C zones. And look at that number 1 horse with the Q30 at 41%.
Yeah, if that one horse can get to the lead, as our projections say, maybe it could be dangerous at a 4-1 morning line number. Looking at the race shape, well, most of these horses, Terry, want to be middle or back. These 3 right here up front, well, we see the speed, tactical speed is the way. If any of these guys can get to the front comfortably in this deep field, they could have a good chance. Look at that. There's that Chasing Stardom. Has a 90 for its early pace score. Every point equals approximately 1 length. 5 points equals 1 length, excuse me. So that horse could have a 3/4 of a length lead. He is on the inside. Absolutely Chasing Stardom should be able to chase whatever lead he wants the pace to start. If in this deep field with all these closers, you like those type of horses, well, you got the 2, the 4, and the 5. They have the most late speed, and they just got to be careful not to get shuffled early on. Top total pace horse, Terry, the top 4 generally produces the winner about 71% of the time. So 4, 9, 11, and 7, that's where your most likely winner is going to be found, Terry. Who's going to be your winner to start this week?
I like the 11 Scamp Wonker. He's won his last race at Parx Racing, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. 4 are awesome for sure. Is my second choice. Won 2 races in a row. Going for a hat trick now. Has the highest last speed rating. I like the 1 Chasing Stardom as my third choice. Drops in class today. The Rail Pulse 22% clip, and he has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. And then the 6 Fenwick Jack, my long shot, finished 3rd versus similar in his last race at Parx Racing. He has a high percentage winning trainer. No bets for me.
Yeah, Terry mentions no bets because in addition to making some pick 4s, which are coming up, we also have $100 Benny and the bets to wager at the track as we wish. I'm going to start with the 1 horse Chasing Stardom. Has that big C-zone score there, that big early chance to get the lead, that Q30. I think he's going to go wire to wire in the second start after a layoff. Should be more fit today than he was his last. Scamp Walker, that was the 11 horse, Terry's top pick. Tough outside post. Makes it difficult. Last time out, the horse improved all of its race internals. If that horse was inside, would have been my top choice. Number 4, Awesome for sure. Probably been facing tougher horses at mostly Naira and Gulfstream Park, although I think last couple of times ran at Finger Lakes. A couple of Finger Lakes horses have come to Parx and performed very well. And then finally, number 7, Commingling. That's a little bit of a long shot for me, but the second start after a layoff, according to its resume, should be at least as good as the last one, but I think more likely to be better. I'm going to start off with a quarter of my $100 budget, 15 to win, 10 to place on that 1 horse, seeing if indeed I can just bet those horses randomly and get a positive ROI. At the moment, we have 2 horses under 10 to 1. Very interesting odds here, Terry. The 11 is 6 to 1. The 4 is your favorite at 7 to 5. The 1 is your third choice at 5 to 2. And everybody else is over 10 to 1.
Yep.
Have you seen that? Too many. It looks like the 9 horse right now would be the best value bet, financial strength. We have it at 7 to 1.
Yep.
And it right now is at 14 to 1. So you're getting twice as much as you should on that 9 horse. Although the 7 horse is in there too, because we have that one at 7 to 2.
Yep.
And right now that horse is 10 to 1. So you're getting almost 3 times what you should with that one, a little bit less. That horse would go to 11 to 1, it would be 3 to 1. Well, the deep field has indeed all loaded. They are off and they are running. The 4, that was the 6 horse that got a brutal break. The 1 horse and the 3 horse, Keep Them Talking, have exerted some early race ability. The field's kind of stretching out pretty fast there. The 1 horse has the lead on the rail. The 3 is to its outside, Keeping Them Talking. The 10 horse, Rabbit, that one's in 3rd place right now. Somebody's screaming up along the rail. Kind of hard to tell. Oh, that's the 4 horse right now. Awesome for sure. Kind of got left behind a little bit there. Looked like they were running faster than they were. They're a little bit under 23 seconds, 22 3/4 of a second. The 1 horse continues to set the tone at 8 to 5. The 4 horse getting a pretty good trip down on the rail. I think he's about to take over this race pretty aggressively, and he has done so. The 1 horse cannot keep pace. Question is, what happens next? It looks like that 7 horse is going to come up into there too. could screw up my $25 win place bet for that one horse. I don't know. We'll see. Right now, the one horse continues to hang in there. I don't know who's coming up on the back, and the one horse looks like he switched leads. Somebody coming up on the outside now with some aggression. It looks like the 3 horse. It's going to be a dogfight to the wire right here, it looks like. Hoping my 1 can hang on, but I don't think he's going to. I think it's going to go 4, then 7, then 1, and then I think that was the 10 horse Rabbit on the outside. 4, 7, 1. The trifecta in my picks. Unfortunately, third place for the one horse, not in my picks, Terry. Not good. All right. I mean, off to it. Yeah, I mean, you should just go ahead and box them off for the trifecta all the time, right?
Yeah, that would be the best thing to do.
Sometimes it feels like it. I don't know. I mean, because I know last week, many times you and I, we got 3 out of 4 in our pick 4 selections, and the one that we missed was our next pick. And it's just like, why is that? Why can't the next pick be the race before where I got it right?
Yeah.
All right, let's move off to race number 2, my friend. What are they running for in the back half of the Daily Double?
We're going to shorten up a little bit to 6 furlongs. The maiden claiming race, $10,000 claiming price, purse $19,000 for maidens, fillies, and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
And at 6 furlong, I think we have a couple of these in a row. So pay attention to race 2. Tactical speed, definitely a good way to find the winner's circle. Although 36% of the time, and that number is bumping up a little bit. It seems like as the fall is approaching, speed is really picking up in terms of its winning percentage at Parx. And once again, we find it inside to outside bias. That means twinkle, twinkle now. The first-time starter perhaps benefiting from that inside post position. Terry, right now, without considering that 2 horse, who's got the best shot to take the front?
Well, look at all the horses that show some kind of speed, but the 6, 8, and 5 have the most speed, and it's kind of anyone's guess who's going to get that quarter pole first. And then that 4 has an overlay from about 3.5 to 1 to 4 to 1, and the 5 has an overlay from 3.5 to 4 to 1. So anyway, all but the 6, 7, and 9 have par plus numbers, and all but the 2 and 10 have C zones.
Mm-hmm. And just looking at what we're seeing here, these horses on the front got a couple of 29s right here. So if you're looking for the one that has the best chance to go wire to wire, since the 5 horse has the most early gas tied at that 29Q, maybe that's the one right there. Our early race shape, we tell us the 6 horse wants that early lead. The 7, a pressure type horse, 3, 4, and 10 want to close. In these maiden races, usually you get to the front, you got a chance. The 5, 8, and 9, so far they've had no chance to win, not within 5 lengths of the winner at the finish line. The 2 horse, as we mentioned, at the top there, making his first start. If you want to go speed, that 6 horse might be low knee, but he's pretty much down here. He's going to have to get off to a quicker start than he's done. Stay out. The 3 horses that haven't been within 5 lengths, those are the ones that could set the tone. They got to be careful not to lose their legs down the stretch. Incan Moon Goddess with the most late speed, about 4 points clear of the next closest horse. So maybe that one, if it's close out of the gates, has a pretty good chance. And really looking at the early speed, probably mid-pack today. Looking at our top total pace, a 5-point lead for Incan Moon Goddess. That means that one should win by about a length, Terry. The other ones that have fallen off the pace here a little bit, maybe they're going to break that within 5-length streak, Terry. Who do you think is going to win?
I like 4 Incan Moon Goddess. My first pick ran second versus similar to her only start as a favorite, but she has a trainer who wins 24% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back again. And she has the highest last race speed rating. And Lasix is added today. Bahamian, maybe the 3. Bahamahan? I don't know. Bahamian. Okay, thank you. She ran second versus similar in her last race. And then 5 stay opportunistic. Yeah, opportunistic. Yes, she finished third versus tougher in her last race at Parx Racing. Her early speed running style will help her chances at the shorter distance. Is really something that may help her too. She ran, and then Dixie Music, the 10, ran third versus tougher in her last race. She has a high percentage winning jockey. She's my long shot. My very first pick 4, which is Miami Vice Don Johnson. I'm going to use the 3, 4, 10 with the 1, 3, 5, 6 with the 1, 3. Finish up with the 3, 5, 11. $48 ticket.
In Can Moon Goddess, the 4-horse, that's the top choice for both of us, and probably deservedly so. Has that top total pace score, 5 points clear of the next closest horse. So if all things go according to pace, should win by by length in this race. The second race improvement for this horse in its second career start would be more than enough to score the W here. Dixie Music, the 10 horse, who moves into the second spot for me. Very consistent performer. We'll try to come on at the end. Stay opportunistic. The 5 horse, a really good shot to get to the lead. Biggest class dropper in the field. And then finally, the Bahamian Baby. I don't know if this one's a track dropper or just parallel. Coming in from Monmouth and Tampa Bay. Our good friend Christopher Parmalu says that when a horse finishes second in its previous maiden start, which this one did, that's his favorite betting angle, only has 1 horse to beat today. And it is one of our simulation odd favorites. I, too, am going to do a $48 pick 4. I'm going to go 4, 5, 10 in the opener, 1, 6, 1, 3, 7, 9 with the 1 and the 2, 3, and the 11. I seriously contemplated singling up the 4, but you really can't do that, I don't feel, in maiden claiming races. It's probably not the best practice. Race number 3, Terry, take it away.
All right. Race 3 is another 6 furlong race. It's an optional claiming race. It's $16,000 claiming price if you elect to put your horse in there to possibly be claimed. Purse is $25,000 for fillies and mares 3-year-olds up and upward, which have started for $16,000 or less, and which have never won 2 races, or a claiming price of $16,000, and which have never won 2 races.
As we mentioned, for 6 furlongs in race number 2, a tactical speed, good way to get to the winner's circle. Although 36%, Jerome Bettis, the bus, making their way to the finish line first on the front. There is an inside to outside bias, so Pesadilla Chanel maybe outruns those 5-2 morning line favorite odds. Tough to tell if that indeed will be the case or not. I didn't even put that one in my picks, Terry. I don't know why I didn't. But anyway, let's take a look at the simulations and see if there's a good reason for not having that horse in there.
Well, they all show some speed, as you can see, and a lot of them are really close. So it's really an anyone's guess race again. The 3 has an overlay from 3-1 to 8-1. And the 7 has an overlay from about 9-2 to 5-1. All but the 5 show par plus numbers, and all of them show C zones.
There should have been a cowgirl, a pretty strong par plus number there. We do both have Fireball, Pesadilla Chanel in our picks. I don't know what I'm thinking about right there. Looks like a pretty wide open race just from here. A lot of red, a lot of green scattered all about. Really nobody with a Q30, big time Q30 edge. Maybe we'll find in-race edge in race number 3. The 2 horse does look like it's a loney with the 4 and 6. Most of these horses middle back. Again, the horse that gets to the lead here might have an excellent chance to go wire to wire. Looks like should have been a cowgirl. Fireball Express, Pesadilla Chanel. Well, really, there's only a 9-point gap between first and worst. So you better come out of the gate sharply today, or you'll find yourself middle of the pack or back. At the end of the race, should have been a cowgirl. Not only has the most early speed, has the most late speed, 5 points clear of everybody else. So if it doesn't get the lead, not such a big deal for the pressure type. Does have a top total pace advantage, 12 points clear of the next closest horse. If all things work out, this one should win by about 2 1/4 lengths. Terry, do you see it any other way?
Nope, I see the 6 winning it. Should have been a cowgirl. She ran second versus similar last race. She has the highest last speed rating and has high percentage winning jockey Paco Lopez. And then the 3 Ode to Edie, my second choice. She won her debut race at Parx Racing, and in her second race, she extended out and finished poorly. So now she drops back to 6 furlongs, which may be just the trick to winning. And then I like the 1 as my third choice. She was beaten only 1 3/4 lengths versus similar on turf in her last start. Post is winning at 18% clip. She has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. Then my long shot 5 is Chit Chat Chub. She won her last race at Parx Racing and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. No additional bets for me here.
I think should have been a cowgirl. Paco Lopez on a horse with a 12-point top total pace edge. Boy, when you get any time we've seen on this show where we have a top total pace of 10 points clear of the next closest horse, they don't always win. These horses are certainly ones that you can circle in your program and wheel around, exactas, trifectas, and maybe even single in your vertical bets. Pesadilla Chanel, the one horse that I didn't think I have. Actually, I positioned him second. This one's very lightly raced, and I think based upon what we've seen so far, has some of the most back class, and because of its lightly raced status, has a good shot to have the most potential too. Number 7, Namora is my third choice because it's taking a third start after a layoff. And if you look back at the previous 2 times this horse ran 3 race cycles, that third leg was by far the best. Big leap forwards in both of them. And then Maybelline, yeah, interesting. The sheep version of the cosmetics company. That one gets the 4th pick for me. It is the biggest class dropper in the field, and another one that's got a short career and by far running at its lowest level to date. No additional bets for me out of my $100 pocket. Race 4 is where we're going to go next, Terry. This starts the second pick 4. Tell us how they're going to run this one.
Well, we're going to stretch out a little bit more to 7 furlongs. It's a claiming race, $7,500 claiming price, purse $20,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since June 30th.
Yeah, and a 7 furlong winner at Parx typically has tactical speed. Michael Jordan, 23% of the time they go wire to wire, and once again we see that's the wire to wire number creeping higher and higher and higher. So speed becoming more dominant as the summer ends and the temperature cools. At Parx, again, we see an inside 3 bonus. They get pretty big edge on the rest of the field because 4 and out are discounted. So if we have any girls on the inside, in this case, or boys, I suppose, who have a lot of early speed in race number 4, they have an excellent shot to go wire to wire, Terry, but looks like some of that early pace is evenly distributed.
It is. They all show some kind of speed, or most of them do anyway. And there's none that's really stands out. There's several that are really close. So it's another one of those anyone guesses race who gets that quarter pole, and that one horse has an overlay from 9-2 to 8-1. The 7 has an overlay from about 7-5 to 5-1. All but the 5 and 9 have par plus numbers, and all but the 7 shows C zone. But the 9 has a really nice Q30.
Yeah, you got a very strong Q30. So if they expect to be ready, can get to the lead, expect a solid effort. Boy, look at this one here, Heartlight, the 3 horse. With that 83% comfort zone, this race, at 83% chance our projected pace will match its top performances. So Heartlight, expect something solid out of that horse today. In that race, look at this, Terry. You got a couple that want to be on the front. Everybody else wants to be on the back. The 4, the 3, and the 6, they're versatile types. These lone EPs, they can be really dangerous. High Time Valentine. Let's take a look at the early race. It does look like it sets up for the 9 horse to get to the lead, although the 8 is the most closely matched. That's a left arrow horse too, Terry. One that typically closes, that has enough early speed to move forward today. We see a lot of those horses find their way to the finish line first. At the end of the race, Peace, Love, and Karma. Look at that. That one has stakes level late speed there, Terry. Anything over 100, high quality stuff. This looks like he's going to be off the screen when the race starts. So don't expect to hear Jessica Paquette call Peace, Love, and Karma until the very end. At the end of the race, it does look like Peace, Love, and Karma has enough late speed to take this field, Terry. Again, our top 4 generally producing the winner. This is another one of those races, minus the 5 horse, where everybody's kind of tightly matched against each other. We see in the simulation data, we see in the pace data, an open race. Why did you start with Heartlight?
Well, I like that. It's my pick of the day at Parx. She's finishing the money in her last 7 starts, and she won 3 of those races. She has a high percentage winning jockey. And then I like the 1, Lean on E. She ran second versus him in her last race, only missing by a neck. And then the Rail Post is winning at an 18% clip. She has a high percentage winning trainer jockey. Then Pop the Champagne Row is my third choice. She won 2 races out of the last 3 starts. The distance won't be a problem for her. And then Peace, Love, and Karma, the 7's my long shot. She ran second versus him in her last race and has a high percentage winning trainer jockey. I'm going to bet $10 to win, 20 to place on number 3, then a $5 double from the 3 to the 3, 5, 10, 11. And then I'm going to play 50-cent pick 4, 1, 3 with the 3, 5, 10, 11 with the 1, 2, 3, 8 with the 1, 6, 7. $48 cost.
I'm going to start with the one horse, Lean On Me When You're Not Strong. Gets that hot rail. Second start after a layoff. Just missed in its last. Moving up in class a little bit today, though. Peace, Love, and Karma. Incredible late speed, as we saw in our pace setup there. Really, if this one's close at all coming around the corner with these, they won't be able to hold them off. If you get off to a decent start, the rest in this field are cooked. Expect to be ready is that Q37 horse. Good chance to be on the lead as the pace setter. Going to drop in class, catching a weight break. Second start after a layoff. Has a maintenance workout in between races. This horse should be more fit today. And then finally, Terry's best bet of the day, Heart Light. It's in the money. 9 out of 10 races at Parx. Catching some extra distance today, I think from 5.5 furlongs to 7. Good work to its benefit. I'm going to go a little bit away from my top picks. I'm going to do a $4 exact key box. I'm going to put the 9 in there. That 37 Q horse with a shot to go to the front. Maybe stay there. Hopefully no worse than fades the second for that bet anyway. With the 1, 3, and 7, I'm also going to do my 50-cent pick for, just like Terry, $48 again. I'm going to go 3 horses here, 1, 7, 9. Probably going to kick myself in the shins for not having the 3 horse there. 1, 2, 3, 11 in the next leg, 2, 3 in the third leg, and I'm going to close it out with the 1, 6, 7, and 9. All right, let's move off to race number 5. Terry, take it away, my friend.
All right. We're going to go to 7 furlongs, claiming race $5,000, purse $18,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since March 30th.
It's interesting today at Parx. It looks, for the most part, it looks like they're pairing like distances up. So maybe they had these 7 furlong races and got a lot of entries into them, and they just put 2 of them out there. But again, at 7 furlongs, the inside 3 speed does well. It looks like wire-to-wire types are picking up. We're getting more of them. So if you got some speed on the inside 3, Terry, you have a good shot on that standing alone. So in the 5th or 6th race, are we in the 6th race? No, 5th race, right?
Yeah, 5th.
Yes. Who's got the most early speed?
Well, a lot of them have speed, but that one, the inside horse, has the most speed. So he really should get to that quarter pole first. And then the 1 also has an overlay from 7 to 2 to 6 to 1. The 3 has an overlay from 4 to 1 to 8 to 1. All but the 5, 7, and 12 have par plus numbers. All of them have comfort zones. And the number 1 has a really nice C zone, or Q30, I mean. And
you look at this one horse. This is a gringo horse. Top Q30 score, top C zone score, top chance to get on the lead. Second best par plus score, and it looks like, according to our simulations, it is the simulation favorite. So Big Brown Shoes, what can Big Brown do for you? Well, hopefully for those of you who back him, can find his way into the winner's circle. 1, 5, and 9 on the front, a couple pressure horses here. Pretty balanced race. About half want to be forward, half want to be middle back. A little bit heavier towards the middle back than the front. Early pace-wise, it does look like Ashad predicted. Big Brown Shoes, they're going to get after it. A little bit of a gap down to the next group in here, though. Pretty competitive except for Summer Ash. Doesn't look like Summer Ash has any light speed either, so maybe you just X that one out of your selections, or you single it because I badmouthed it. Jova will be coming at the end with more pace than anybody else, about a length quicker than all of the rest in there. Captain Cardo. Again, we do find a lot of horses in here with similar late speed, though. We're going to have 4 of them that are green here, Terry, in our picks. They're 4 points clear of the rest. So this top 4, the 10, the 3, the 1, and the 6, very likely, I think, today to produce the winner and produce your winner.
I like the 3, Lemon Creek Louie. He has the highest last speed rating, switches to a high percentage winning jockey, who's Paco Lopez, has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 28% of the races in the second start with this trainer. And he has a 3 furlong workout on September 24th. That's pretty good. And then number 5, Notable Bob, drops in class today, switches to high percentage winning trainer, who wins 27% of the races when taking a horse down 2+ classes. And then I like the 11, Oli Meister. He's drops in class today. His best start speed is fast among today's starters. He has a high percentage winning trainer. The 10 is my long shot, Jova. Switches to high percentage winning trainer and a high percentage winning jockey. No additional bets here for me.
Big Brown Shoes, that gringo horse. Green across the board over there. Our simulation favorite. My favorite to win here. Strong chance to be that pace setter today, Terry, with that strong Q30 score. Let's see if we can catch a wire-to-wire W on that one. If not, we got Paco Lopez on the 3 horse, your top selection. Last time out, that horse also ran the top last race speed figure. And it's a pair of solid runs. So it kind of had a down race. It rebounded last time out. If it's going to pair it up, this one should be good too. Number 11, Oli Meister, running at the lowest level of its career, Terry, with by far the most back class. And then finally, number 2, Ashad. That's my fourth selection. Speed and Fade at 1 mile and 70 yards. Today, cutting back to 7 furlongs. That's going to be a difference maker. It's an angle I learned at least from our good friend Charles, who's, I think he was your past the wire still, Terry, right?
Yeah.
So head on over there and check out our good friend Charles's content. Now we have about 5 minutes to go before this race, Terry. I misspoke. On Friday, we're going to try to do something. I just don't know what time. It's the Arc in France. It's one of the biggest races in Europe. I think it's the highest purse in all of racing in Europe. So we will do our best to have some coverage of that, Tom and I, on Friday. But before we do that, Terry, long before we do that, we're going to do race 6 in Bensalem, Pennsylvania, almost as classy as Paris.
Yep, it's a 7 furlong race, claiming $5,000 claiming price, purse $18,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won 2 races since March 30th.
Again, about a quarter of the horses win wire to wire at 7 furlongs. Post 1, 2, and 3 have a very well visible advantage over 4 and out. Again, Terry, if we can find some speed in this race on the inside, race number 6, good chance to go wire to wire. And it does look like there's one of them on the inside. Well, the 2 fastest ones are on the inside for sure.
Yeah, the 3 shows the most speed, should get there first, although the 1 may have something to say about that. The 2 has an overlay of about 4 to 5 to 4 to 1. All but the 4 and 6 have par plus numbers, and all of them have C zones, and the 3 has a nice Q30.
So, yeah, a couple of conflicting things here. Fast Bob is our simulation favorite. 65% chance to run, according to our 1,000 simulations, a speed figure, which is the average winning speed figure for the conditions at Parx. You see over here by Brisnet, who should be sponsoring us because we give them a lot of great publicity. 83. So really good chance that you're going to see Fast Bob top that. Pylon, really good chance to get to the front with that 30% Q30 score. So a battle of handicapping angles. Got 4 on the front, 4 on the back, 2 in the middle. These 2 middle horses could be exceptionally dangerous because they can pick on the track where they want to be. At the start of the race, does look like Pylon is a little bit faster than Dalton to its inside. See Trident, Crafty Don, both to the outside. So the 1 and 3 should compete for the early race lead. The end, Fast Bob, that big overlay with a big late pace advantage over everybody else, although it looks like he should be in the back third of the race. About a length quicker than the Angry Man. Finally, our top total pace horse here is Fast Bob, 6 points clear of Pylon. So this looks like a race between the front runner, between the closer, and between handicapping angles. Terry, which handicapping angle and running style did you fall on?
Well, in this race, I like Fast Bob, the 2. He finished in the money in his last 3 starts, finished in third versus Tupper in his last. He has a high percentage winning trainer. I like the 1 Dalton. He ran second versus Tupper in his last race. The rail post went an 18% clip. He has a trainer who wins 28% of the races when taking a horse down 2+ classes. I like the 8 Looking Super. He has won 1 race out of 2 starts at Parx Racing, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. My long shot is the 3 Pylon. He has finished in the money in 4 of his last 5 starts, winning 1 of the races. He has a high percentage winning trainer. And then I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 3. I'm going to use the 1, 2, 3, 8 with the 1, 6, finish up with the 5, 6, 7 at $12. And I'm going to report that our free track of today, guaranteed tip sheet in the first race at Finger Lakes, the 4 won the race at 5 to 2, and the 8 ran second. So we hit the exacta. The 8 was 4 to 1.
There you go. 4-8 right there on your folks. Free picks again down in the description below. On YouTube, make sure you click on that so they know where you came from. Also, when the show's over, we'll timestamp every race so you can come back and watch it at your leisure. So if you want to see in race number 4, when race number 4 is about to begin, what Terry and I think, or race number 6, where we are right now, just click on the time in the description. It'll take you right to that race. I'm going to start with Pylon, another one of those Q30 horses that has a good shot to get to the lead today. Speed and Fade in its first race after a layoff. Drops in class today, going to have more stamina, going to give it a chance to go wire to wire, Terry. If not, Fast Bob, the closer right in here, Terry. Top total pace, 8 points clear of the rest. Has an electric late speed edge versus most of the rest of these. The only problem for me with the 2-horse, I'm a little worried with all of that lack of early speed that he could get shuffled back and boxed in. So he cannot get caught in traffic with that inside post. Number 8, Looking Super. Maybe the most upside in the race as he has the most back class. And then finally, Dalton, the 1-horse that is your early morning favorite right there, Terry. Just missed last out and today going to drop in class. Maybe that's the difference maker. I'm going to put 15 to win, 10 to place on that 3 going wire to wire. Let's see if we can translate this to English, see what that says. Who wins the second? All right, well, the second hasn't started yet. How long do we have, Terry?
About no minutes to post.
All
I think
right,
they're probably loading right now.
Yeah, they haven't loaded up just yet. They're working their way in. So, Terry, while we wait for the horses to come in, kindly share with folks how they can help us out.
Well, go to our YouTube channel and subscribe and hit that little bell so they're told you when our other programs are coming up. And they'll notify you. And then go down and copy that link, share it with all your friends, neighbors, relatives, everybody you know, so they can come check us out too. And then go to our social sites such as Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, and TikTok at the Horse Race number 2 day, and give us thumbs up and likes because that really helps us out. And then also the picks and the comments that you make are something we enjoy to deal with, but also helps us out in the long run.
Yeah, any interactivity, whether you comment, you come back. And as I mentioned, when we timestamp the races, you come back and watch them at another time. You come back and view us tomorrow or Thursday or Wednesday or Friday or any day, anytime you return. All of those things boost our search engine scores. We greatly appreciate it. And it's a very easy way for you to help the show. All right, race number 2 right now, about to get started. I contemplating singling the 4. Right now, it looks like a lot of people have that same thought process because that 4-horse is your 1-to-1 favorite, and they're running right now, Terry. And the 4-horse didn't get a very good break today. You have about a handful of horses trying to get to the lead. It does look like Orb's Party Girl, the one we suspected would be on the lead, is up on the lead. Stay Opportunistic is down on the rail. The other one we thought would be involved in the mix there too. The 7, a little bit of a surprise there as it was our third choice to be up on the front. A little bit of a gap back to the 8-horse running in 4th. Nora's Gamble. And you got a pretty big drop off. The 3 horses next up in there on the rail. He's coming up with some speed. The 4-horse has finally found its rhythm. The 5-horse right now, Terry, looks like he's about to run away with this. Stay Opportunistic. That 29% Q30 score, almost on the lead there. He's got a pretty substantial lead over everybody. Everyone who was trying to keep up with him early on has not been able to do so. Looks like the 4-horse is going to have to get a clean lane to come get him. I don't know that he's going to get that job done. 5-horse with a pretty easy lead. The 8-horse right now is coming the best. 5-horse is starting to wiggle up the track a little bit, but he's got too big of a lead, I think, to succumb to the 3 or the 4. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to go the 5-horse, and then it's going to go the 3-horse, and then the 4 might have just passed the 8 at the last moment for the top 3. So there's your trifecta again in our picks, Terry. Good way to get started. The 10-horse did not show up. The 5-horse, Terry, we thought it had a good shot to get to the lead. It was right there when the lead got started, was tied for the top Q30 score, one of the better par plus scores. It was an overlay from the morning line, but 2-to-1 is where it went off. In race number 2, if we take a look at this, the 5-horse, again, was in our top 3, as we mentioned many times, the top 4 producing your winner. And there you have it, Terry. I think we have a trifecta in the top 4 too there, right? Yes, indeed, the top 4 in the trifecta. That's why we go through all of that process of putting all this data together. And I got some good news on that front, Terry, on Friday. There's a very good chance, folks, that very soon all of this data, at least before the year is up, will be available for every single track for purchase. We'll let you know when that moment comes to life. There you go, folks, with race number 2, the 5-horse. To answer all the who won race number 2 questions, 5-horse won race number 2. Race number 7, it begins the late pick 4 in this 10 race card, Terry. It's the only one I think we're going to see at this distance.
Yeah, they shorten up to 5.5 furlongs. It's a claiming race, $7,500 claiming price. Purse 21,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 4 races.
Yeah, that's to get that fourth W, 5.5 furlongs. The only thing that really seems to matter, Terry, is be fast. More than half, 54% going wire to wire. There is an outside to inside bias, which seems kind of odd, but the rail is better than post 2 or 3. But the farther you are from the rail, the better chance you have to win, Terry. Who has the speed on the outside?
Well, the 7 shows the most speed, as you can see, so it should get to that quarter pole first. And then the only other one that has anything close to it is that 1. The 1 also has an overlay from about 7 to 5 to 5 to 2. The 2 has an overlay from 4 to 1 to 8 to 1. The 4 has an overlay from 8 to 1 to 15 to 1. All but the 9 show par plus numbers. And then all but the 5 show C zones. And the 7 has a really nice Q30.
Yeah, that's 7. Look at, here we go again. Q30 high, top one of the top C zones. Absolutely looks like it'll be the pace setter. Does have the top par plus. A little bit of interesting, though, that the odds didn't work out there on the sim odds. In the 7th race, taking a look at the race here, the 1, 2, and 7, 3, 4, 6, and 9. So you got, I don't know what you want to call that, a barbell race, front and back, and the gap in the middle. So far, the 5 horse hasn't found its way anywhere near the finish line, not within 5 lengths of the leader. When the race is over, early on, Sinque Amor, along with Sansa Ariel, they are your fastest of the bunch. Maybe that 2 horse of the early speed types is the one that you can consider passing on. At the end of the race, Miss Alex has the most late speed, but going to be pretty far off that 1 horse who has the second best late speed. So it looks like right now the 1 horse should be really well placed. Has enough late speed to close out the race. Not surprisingly, grades out as our top total pace horse. 5 points clear of Sinque and more. Terry, our top 4 in this mix right here. Who are your top 4?
I like the 1, Sansa Ariel. She has finished in the money in 8 of her last 10 starts, winning one of the races, drops in class today, has best start speed among today's starters. Angelic Storm is my second choice. The 6 horse. She finished 3rd versus similar. Her only start, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I like the 7 as my 3rd choice. She ran 2nd versus similar. Her only start is the favorite, but the trainer wins 21% of the races when he brings back a beaten favorite to race again. And her early speed running style will help her chances. I like the 2 as my long shot Road to Dreams. She drops in class today and may improve while returning to dirt. I'm going to play the last pick 4, Miami Vice Don Johnson, 167 with the 356 with the 367 with the 9, 10, 11. It's a $40.50 cost.
Looks like we both had the same, like, how do I just pick anything anywhere? So I'm just going to go 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 and cross my fingers. I'm going to go with the 1 horse. Has that top total pace advantage. Look at that C-zone score right there, Terry. Good chance to be up on the lead. Did run the top last race speed figure. That was on Monmouth turf. Today, that horse is coming back to grass at Parx. First time at the track, so we'll see what happens there. Number 7, Sinque Amor. Really good chance to be on the front. We're going to be comfortable up there as well, Terry. As we mentioned, horse not only has that, but has the top par plus score. So should be very comfortable race for Sinque Amor. Angelic Storm, the 6 horse in there, Terry. That's my 3rd selection in here. This horse last time out ran a little bit better pace numbers across the board there. I think this one should be involved from beginning to end. If it's going to win, it's going to be at Parx. 2 wins in 7 races there. Run 22 times elsewhere. Only managed to win 1 of those. I'm going to close it out with the 9 horse as my final selection. Cup of Life, Mr. Terry. Looking at that horse, this is one that's making its 2nd start after a layoff. And historically, this horse takes a pretty big bump up the class ladder in the 2nd start after a layoff. And did show a lot better mid to out speed last time out. And I've noticed a lot of times when horses run better middle to late pace, that momentum carries over to the next race. And that being the 2nd start after layoff, room for improvement there. I'm going to do a pick 4. As I mentioned, I couldn't make up my mind. So I'm going to go 167, 145, 267, 8, 10, 13. Really couldn't find a place to make a stand, Terry.
Yep.
All
and
right.
congratulations to Jackie Trades. He hit that exact in that last race.
Good job, Jack of Trades. That's a good one in there, too. All right, race number 8. Let's see if we can match Jack of Trades and find an exacta, but we can tell you exactly what the conditions are.
Okay, we're gonna stretch out to 1 mile and 70 yards. It's a claiming race, $10,000 claiming price, purse $26,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since June 30th. Claiming races for 8,000 or less not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
Yeah, and at 1 mile and 70 yards, I had noted that earlier that a lot of the short races, the sprint types, front runners their win percentages were rising. Well, at 1 mile and 70 yards, it used to be over 40% went wire to wire. Now it's down to 39. So a few more horses coming from off the lead to get the W. Early speed still dominating, though, still 39% winning wire to wire. Post positions are mostly fair, although post 2 and 3 get a small bonus, and 4 through 7 get a small penalty. No deal makers or deal breakers in the post positions, Terry, but maybe some speed to consider.
Yeah, several of them show speed, with the 1 showing the most speed, followed up by the 5. And then the 1 has an overlay from 4 to 1 to 6 to 1. 2 has an overlay from 3 to 1 to 6 to 1. 5 has an overlay from about 7 to 2 to 5 to 1. And the 7 has an overlay from 5 to 1 to 6 to 1. All of them show par plus numbers, and all but the 5 show C zones.
Talk about a competitive race. Lots of green scattered all about there. A lot of horses that are overlays. This one looks like it's up for grabs. We don't see a real pure front runner in here. So, again, with 40% going wire to wire, somebody gets to the lead fairly easily. They could have a shot. But it looks like it's going to be a contested early pace. I mean, look at this. Except for the 4-horse, Yes Sir Colonel, everybody else right in that mix. That whole group has to be careful not to burn. The end of the race, Yes Sir Colonel, although it'll probably be about 3/4 of a length off the lead, maybe a little bit more, has about a 3/4 late speed advantage over everybody else. And just tactically speaking, with everybody else kind of trying to push to the front, the 4-horse might have a tactical edge. At the end of the race, look at this, Terry. All but the 2-horse. It was the devil's idea within 5 points of each other, within 4. It was the devil's idea only 10 points off. Anybody can win this race according to our total pace, Terry. Why did you start with the 5-horse Assembly Point?
Well, he likes park racing. He's been in the money 50% of the races here, and he's won 17% of those races. The distance won't bother him. He's been in the money 56% of the time in those at this distance, and won 39% of the races. And I like the fact that he has Paco Lopez in the irons. Then I like 6-6 Bourbon Call. He drops in class today, has a high percentage win trainer, wins 32% of the races in the second race after claiming a horse. His best start speed is fast among today's starters. The 3 Mo Rewards is my third choice. He can improve while returning to dirt, has a high percentage win trainer. The 1 is my long shot Brilliant Chase. He ran second versus center his last race, and he has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. No additional bets for me here.
Well, the 4-horse is really consistent. It's very consistent. In fact, highly consistent. So you're going to have to beat this one. It actually has the most upside, too, looking at the past performances in here. And it's dropping to its lowest level since last February. So facing lighter company. The 5-horse, as I mentioned, this is a very contested race in here, Mr. Terry. And anytime you have a very contested race and Paco Lopez is your jockey, guess what? You got to consider that guy. He's going to just need to run back 1 race with Paco to find the winner circle. The 1-horse is the third selection for me, Brilliant Chase. That one's coming off of the bench after running the top last race speed figure last time out. Its early race record's a little bit spotty. 1 solid workout between races indicates Brilliant Chase could come back to work and put out a pretty good effort. You got that strong chance to be on the lead. Good C-zone in there too, Mr. Terry. If that 1-horse can hold up on the rail, good chance to win. And then finally, the 6-horse is my final selection. Bourbon Calling. Sounds like some people we know they're Saturday nights, right?
Yeah.
This one's going to get a lot of play, Terry, because it is a track dropper coming in from the Naira circuit. The last 2 races spent in a nice, beautiful Saratoga Springs, New York. But the horse has run a couple of times at Parx. Only has a second in there, but still facing some of the lightest company that this horse has seen in its last 10 races. That's probably not close. No additional bets for me in race number 7. or was this race number 8? Yes. Means 2 to go. Let's see what we got over here. Thank you, Jack of all trades. You're welcome. Thank you for putting the good picks up there. If Jack of all trades can put up some good picks, so can you, folks. So go ahead and put some picks in there. Not that he's not a good picker. I'm just saying that anybody can hit us up on the comment section and go out there and give us your thoughts on what's going to happen at Parx today, Finger Lakes today. It's kind of a light day of racing this Monday. We're only about a month away, though, for Terry from the Breeders' Cup. That should be exciting.
It should.
All right, so let's go off to, incidentally, if you've been following my code tips, the code numbers today are 3, 5, and 6 at Parx today. So keep an eye on the 3, the 5, and the 6. Terry with the 3, 5, and 6 in race number 8 is his top picks.
Yep.
Race number 9 begins the late daily double, and they're going to do it again, Terry.
Yep, we're going to go again at the mile and 70 yards, an optional claiming race. $25,000 claiming price, purse $26,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for $6,000 or less and have never won 3 races, or a claiming price of $25,000, or which have never won 3 races.
Yeah, and we talked about a bunch go wire to wire, about 40%, although that number is declining. So perhaps horses that are forwardly placed, the best place, not necessarily on the front. Still a good chance to win, though. Your post positions, really no big advantages or disadvantages. If you're looking for a little edge, maybe circle the 2 or 3. If you're looking to discount the couple horses, 4 through 7 have performed a little bit under par. But again, nothing substantial. If you like a horse in any position, you can go ahead and back it. In race number 9, Terry, who can you back if you were betting on who you're in the race to the quarter-mile marker?
Well, the 3 and the 8 shows the most speed, and so they could go head-to-head to that quarter pole. And then that 1 shows an overlay from 6.5 to 1 to 8 to 1. 2's overlay 5 to 2 to 6 to 1. 3's overlay from about 8 to 5 to 4 to 1. All but the 4 and 6 have par plus numbers, and all but the 2 show C zones, especially the 6.
Our race shape, again, this race looking like there's some horses in this Miss Cinnamon. Look at that. 91% chance if you're new here, comfort zone. We match up our projected pace versus the horse's best races. We overlay them on top of each other to see how closely today's pace will match when the horses have performed the best. Looks like Miss Cinnamon is going to be really happy with the way this race plays out today. Our race shape for race number 9 says really no true front runner here. Everybody wants to be middle back. And you get to the front here, perhaps you'll see that wire-to-wire number go back up at Parx. Summer at the Shore is the fastest of the bunch. Doesn't need the lead because it's an EP type, but it's about 3/4 of a length quicker than the rest. That 8 horse should be the one that sets the tone as the gates open. Snow Lake, Gilda's Girl, Amy Mule. They'll be coming at the end. Look at that Summertime at the Shore, though. Not all that far off there, Terry, that 8 horse. Our top total pace picture, here are our top 4. Although it does look like the 2, the 3, and the 8s are a cut above the rest. Neither one of us starting with the 2, the 3, or the 8. Both of us starting with the 7. Both of us leaving the 8 completely out of the picture. How regretful are we going to be for that?
We might just be, but I do like Amy Mule, the 7. She ran second versus 7 in her last race, has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 32% of the races in the first race after claiming a horse, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. Miss Cinnamon, the 6, is my second choice, won 3 races out of the last 5 races, and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and blinkers are added today. 3, Gilda's Girl is my third choice. She drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 30% of the races in the first start that horse has with this trainer. And then a long shot is Snow Lake, the 2. She has finished in the money in her last 5 starts, winning the last start. I'm going to bet 15 to win on the 7, and then I'm going to take and do an exacta box with a $12 exacta box 2, 3, 6, 7, and then I'm going to do an exacta 7 on top with the 2, 5, 6. That uses up, I believe, my money.
I'm going to go with 7 horse 2, Amy Mule. Just missed at this level last time out. I think going longer is better than going short. This horse typically runs at Monmouth or Tampa Bay Downs. At the 2 times it's run at Parx, it's finished second, but at the distance, a win and a second. So longer is better at Parx. Maybe you should have put this one second instead of first, Terry. The 2 horse, next up for me in my selection, Snow Lake, right there. That is one of our simulation favorites right there at 5 to 2. This horse coming back into the Parx track after running at Delaware Park last time out. At Parx, 9 times out, a win, 5 seconds. So clearly a horse that likes the course. 3 seconds and 4 races. So it's going to be a competition between a 7 and 4 to see which one actually wants to win. They're going to be looking at each other to see, wait, I'm supposed to finish second. No, I'm supposed to finish second. Maybe in doing all that, the 6 horse will be the one that actually gets the W in there. That one is Miss Cinnamon. We saw that one as one of your top total pace horses in there. A little bit of a decline last time out, Terry. But this horse traditionally does bounce back in the 3rd start after a layoff. That's what we're going to see today and here. Then finally, the 3 horse, Gilda's Girl. That one actually is our simulation favorite at about 3-2 odds. This one's coming in from Laurel Park in Pimlico. I usually find that those horses that come in from Laurel Park in Pimlico, that is a little bit of a class drop for those horses. Been off for a little while. Working out at Penn, the September 3rd workout of 48, pretty quick. Not the biggest fan of the Penn horses. This one should be closing at the end. I have no money to bet on this race either, which takes us to the final spot of the day, race number 10. Again, tomorrow, Terry and I will be back to take a look at the races at Parx. That'll be for day number 2 of the week. And then to make sure you don't miss Parx, or 12 races on Wednesday at Horseshoe Indianapolis. I don't know how many races on Thursday at the Belmont at the Big A, or for our ARC picks, no matter how we put them up there, Terry, what's the best way to keep in touch and keep up to speed with all things horse racing today?
Well, you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the bell so you're notified about all the different programs we have and when they come up. And then copy that link at the bottom and share it with everybody you know so they can come and check us out. I know they're going to like what they see. Then go to our social sites at Horse Race, the number 2 day, and give us thumbs up and likes. It's down at the bottom, scrolling across there. And then that helps us out. And then also the comments and everything, picks, that's fun to deal with, and it really looks fun. So anyway.
Race 2 coming up. Free track of the day, a maiden special weight variety at Finger Lakes. There is a link in the description here on YouTube as well as on Twitter. Please click on that so that you can go over there and get those free picks today. The first race, Terry mentioned we had the second one about to get started. We're about to get started on race number 10, the final race today at Parx. Terry, what are the conditions to close out the show today?
It's 7 furlongs, claiming race, $5,000 claiming price. It's a purse of $18,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since March 10th.
Again, 7 furlongs. We have noticed that the number of horses winning wire to wire is actually rising. It used to be under 20% just a couple of weeks ago. It's all the way up to nearly 1 out of 4. The inside 3 horses, if they have speed, they have an edge, Terry. So we're looking for speed. We're looking for speed on the inside, and fortunately, there's one of them that qualifies, and he didn't qualify for our picks, though. We're going to probably regret that.
We just may, but it has the most speed. That 2 horse does, followed up by like the 7, 8, and 9. And then the 8 also has an overlay from 2 to 1 to 6 to 1. All but the 2, 3, 6 have par plus, and all but the 2, 4, 13 shows C zones.
Yeah, all these horses out here on the outside with the strong par plus. 8 and out looks like maybe you can stick the 4 in there. It looks like the best place from a par plus. Again, par plus being in our 1,000 simulations, how many times they ran a speed figure equal to or greater than 82, which is the Brisnet par speed figure for the distance. Our pace set up in here, Terry, for the final race of the day. Oh, man, look at all these closers. That's one lopsided. You wouldn't want to sit on the seesaw with this race because you'd be up in the air constantly if you're a speed human. You might never get down. This race should favor horses with some early speed. Cousin Andrew, Rammer, oh, there's that 2 horse. Brindisi up against it, but it really very competitive early start in here. The end of the race, Star Weaver, True Dakotan. First Deputy up in there. First Deputy, that also eligible horse that scratched into the race. Finally, the 4 horse, the 13 horse, the 6 and the 10. Those are your top 4, maybe the winners in that group, Terry, but you're going to tell us who your winner is.
Yeah, I sure am. I'm going to go with 9 up against it. Won 4 races out of 8 starts this year. Drops in class today. Is a highest speed figure at today's distance. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters. Actually tied with another horse. 11 Kingsville, my second choice, drops in class today. his best bird speed is fastest among today's starters. He has a high percentage winning trainer. And then Chain Reaction. The 10 is my third choice, finished third versus similar in his last race at Parx Racing. And he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I like the 7 as my long shot. He drops in class today, can improve the shorter distance, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. I have no more money, so no additional bets for me here.
Maybe a little bit of a tell. One of the top jockeys there day in and day out is Mikel Sanchez. He's riding the 8-horse Lord Wins a Lot. Sometimes trainers, when they feel like their horse is ready to go, they're going to give it the best chance to win. This one did show some great signs of life last time out, upping its speed figure pretty aggressively, and tends to continue to go north on that path. Although I'm not the biggest fan of pen shippers, this one does have a win at Parx with some of the best Parx form. First Deputy, the 13-horse, when Terry, I don't know about you, but when trainers also eligible to horses, it's almost always a sign they think the horse is competitive right in here. This one is track dropping, coming in from Monmouth Park. Prior to that, it ran at the Naira Circuit. So this is first go around at Parx. Very consistent performer in the mid to upper 70s in terms of its speed numbers. Track droppers usually see those numbers rise when they come in to Parx. And then number 10 is my third choice. That one is Chain Reaction. Chain Reaction with a big bounce up, finishing third last time out. Much better pace numbers from the beginning to parts of the race. Again, as Craig Malkowski has told us, when horses up their pace through the first half mile, almost always an indication that the horse is sitting on a better race the next time out. And then finally, Brindisi. That 7-horse gets my third choice, and they're going to drop in class today, Terry. Another one of those horses that's very consistent in terms of performance, but he's dropping in class after last time out showing faster fractions. Always something that I'm got my eye on. No additional wagers for me. Here are our top total picks for the day, Terry. And then I think that 6-horse one went 6-7, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so it went 6-7 at Finger Lakes for that second race.
4 ran third, so you got the trifecta. So
yeah, beautiful. 6-7-4. Gotta like that. And then the 2-horse finished fourth. So not only did we get the exacta trifecta and superfecta, and you could have had it for free, folks, if you went over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet, where there is a link in the description below. Again, the show is over. Terry and I will post, Terry will post all of our picks and thoughts today at horseracingtoday.net. You'll find it right there at the marquee spot. Just click on that. A replay of the show will be there. And of course, inside the description at YouTube, we will timestamp every race. So you can come back and watch our thoughts, catch up on the data for every single thing that you saw. Our full picks for the rest of this day look like this, Terry. Any final thoughts for you and me before we get out of here?
Yeah, it says that Jack of Trades says, "This is my last appearance, guys. Good luck to all." I hope he's not meaning he's not going to be back here tomorrow or any of the other days. Like seeing him here. Other than that, just stay safe and careful. Pray for the people that have been dealing with that hurricane. Yeah, it's really bad. Hopefully things will get better for them there. So that's about it.
Rain, rain, rain. Go away. Come back again some other day. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. What we certainly hope is those people bail themselves out in Asheville, North Carolina, all through now the southern western parts of Florida and anywhere in between that got flooded out, that certainly good days for them are to come, that they have God's grace, God's favor, that eventually they get back up on their feet, and all of our picks and all of their hopes and dreams have God's grace, God's favor, and end up in the destination we all want to find.
The winner's circle.
Indeed. Terry and I will see you again tomorrow for Terrific Terry Tuesday at Parx.